Telecommunication Main Grounding Busbar, or TMGB, plays a vital role in the grounding and bonding system of a telecommunications infrastructure. Its primary function is to provide a central connection point for grounding conductors and bonding jumpers, ensuring that all telecommunications equipment within a building shares a common ground potential. This is crucial for protecting sensitive electronic equipment from voltage surges, electrical noise, and other forms of electrical interference. When considering the location of the TMGB, it is essential to understand the principles of grounding and bonding and how they contribute to the overall performance and reliability of the telecommunications system. The general recommendation is to locate the TMGB in the lowest level of the building, as close as possible to the point of entry of the telecommunication cables. This location offers several advantages. Firstly, minimizing ground impedance. By placing the TMGB close to the earth grounding electrode system, the length of the grounding conductor is minimized. This reduces the impedance of the grounding path, allowing for a more effective dissipation of fault currents and voltage surges. Lower impedance is critical for providing a stable and reliable ground reference for the telecommunications equipment. Secondly, reducing voltage differences. A properly grounded TMGB helps to equalize the ground potential throughout the telecommunications system. This minimizes voltage differences between different pieces of equipment, reducing the risk of ground loops and other forms of electrical interference. Maintaining a consistent ground potential is essential for ensuring the proper operation of sensitive electronic equipment. Thirdly, facilitating bonding. The TMGB serves as a central connection point for bonding jumpers, which are used to bond various metallic components of the telecommunications infrastructure together. This includes equipment racks, cable trays, and metallic conduits. By bonding these components together, a low impedance path is created for fault currents, which helps to protect equipment and personnel from electrical hazards. Fourthly, improving surge protection. A well-grounded TMGB can significantly improve the effectiveness of surge protection devices. Surge protection devices divert voltage surges away from sensitive electronic equipment, protecting them from damage. However, these devices can only function effectively if they are properly grounded. The TMGB provides a low-impedance ground path for these devices, allowing them to quickly and effectively dissipate surge currents. In multi-story buildings, the location of the TMGB becomes even more critical. While the recommendation remains to place it in the lowest level, several factors must be considered. Firstly, the building's grounding electrode system. The grounding electrode system is the network of grounding conductors and electrodes that are used to connect the building to the earth. It is essential that the TMGB be connected to the system in a way that provides a low-impedance ground path. This may involve running a dedicated grounding conductor from the TMGB to the grounding electrode system. Secondly, the location of the telecommunications equipment rooms. The telecommunications equipment rooms are the spaces within the building that house the telecommunications equipment. These rooms should be located as close as possible to the TMGB to minimize the length of the grounding conductors. Thirdly, the routing of telecommunications cables. The telecommunications cables that enter the building should be routed in a way that minimizes their exposure to electrical noise and interference. This may involve using shielded cables or routing the cables through metallic conduits. In some cases, it may be necessary to install additional grounding busbars on upper floors to provide supplemental grounding for the telecommunications equipment. These supplemental grounding busbars should be bonded to the TMGB with a low-impedance bonding jumper. It is important to consult with a qualified electrical engineer or telecommunications professional to determine the best location for the TMGB and any supplemental grounding busbars. They can assess the specific needs of the building and the telecommunications system and recommend a grounding and bonding solution that meets all applicable codes and standards. When installing the TMGB, several best practices should be followed. Firstly, use appropriately sized grounding conductors. The size of the grounding conductors should be based on the size of the telecommunications cables and the expected fault current. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, provides guidance on the proper sizing of grounding conductors. Secondly, make sure there is proper bonding. All metallic components of the telecommunications infrastructure should be bonded together using low-impedance bonding jumpers. The bonding jumpers should be sized according to the NEC. Thirdly, avoid ground loops. Ground loops can occur when there are multiple ground paths between different pieces of equipment. This can create a circulating current that can interfere with the operation of the equipment. Ground loops can be avoided by ensuring that all equipment is grounded to a single point, the TMGB. Fourthly, testing of the grounding system. The grounding system should be tested regularly to ensure that it is functioning properly. The test should verify that the grounding conductors are properly connected and that the ground impedance is within acceptable limits. Now, let's explore specific scenarios and considerations related to TMGB placement. Firstly, retrofitting existing buildings. In existing buildings, it may not always be possible to locate the TMGB in the ideal location. In these cases, it is important to find the next best location, taking into consideration the factors mentioned earlier. Secondly, buildings with multiple telecommunications entrances. If a building has multiple telecommunications entrances, it may be necessary to install multiple TMGBs. Each TMGB should be located as close as possible to the point of entry of the telecommunications cables it serves. All TMGBs should be bonded together with a low-impedance bonding jumper. Thirdly, high-rise buildings. In high-rise buildings, it may be necessary to install supplemental grounding busbars on each floor to provide adequate grounding for the telecommunications equipment. These supplemental grounding busbars should be bonded to the TMGB with a low-impedance bonding jumper. Fourthly, environments with high levels of electrical noise. In environments with high levels of electrical noise, it may be necessary to use shielded telecommunications cables and to install additional filters to reduce the noise. The TMGB should be properly grounded to provide a low impedance path for the noise currents. The NEC Article 800 covers communications circuits. Article 800.100 D addresses the grounding of the communications cable and primary protector. It states that the primary protector shall be connected to the grounding electrode system of the building or structure being served. In addition to the NEC, there are other standards and guidelines that provide recommendations for the grounding and bonding of telecommunications systems. These include the Telecommunications Industry Association, or TIA, and the Electronic Industries Alliance, or IA, standards. These standards provide detailed guidance on the design, installation, and testing of telecommunications grounding systems. In summary, the optimal location for a TMGB is the lowest level of the building, near the point of entry of telecommunication cables. This placement minimizes ground impedance, reduces voltage differences, facilitates bonding, and improves surge protection. In multi-story buildings, careful consideration must be given to the building's grounding electrode system, the location of telecommunications equipment rooms, and the routing of telecommunications cables. Consulting with qualified professionals and adhering to relevant codes and standards are essential for ensuring a safe and effective telecommunications grounding system. Remember, proper grounding is not just about meeting code requirements, it's about protecting valuable equipment, ensuring reliable communication, and safeguarding personnel. Consider the following points related to the grounding electrode system. Firstly, types of grounding electrodes. The grounding electrode system typically consists of one or more of the following types of grounding electrodes: metal underground water pipe, metal frame of the building or structure, concrete encased electrode, ground ring, and rod and pipe electrodes. Secondly, bonding to the grounding electrode system. The TMGB must be connected to the grounding electrode system using a grounding electrode conductor. The size of the grounding electrode conductor is determined by the size of the service entrance conductors, or the equivalent for separately derived systems. Thirdly, supplemental grounding electrodes. In some cases, it may be necessary to install supplemental grounding electrodes to improve the effectiveness of the grounding system. Supplemental grounding electrodes can be used to reduce ground impedance and to provide a more stable ground reference. Now let's delve into the specifics of bonding and its importance. Firstly, bonding conductors. Bonding conductors are used to connect various metallic components of the telecommunications infrastructure together. This includes equipment racks, cable trays, metallic conduits, and other metallic enclosures. Secondly, sizing of bonding conductors. The size of the bonding conductors is determined by the size of the equipment grounding conductors. The NEC provides guidance on the proper sizing of bonding conductors. Thirdly, bonding to metallic water pipes. Metallic water pipes are often used as grounding electrodes. However, it is important to bond around any insulating sections of the water pipe to ensure a continuous ground path. Now let's talk about surge protection and its integration with the TMGB. Firstly, surge protective devices, or SPDs. SPD are used to protect sensitive electronic equipment from voltage surges. SPD should be installed at the service entrance, at the TMGB, and at individual equipment locations. Secondly, SPD grounding. SPD must be properly grounded to function effectively. The grounding conductor for the SPD should be as short and straight as possible. Thirdly, coordinated surge protection. A coordinated surge protection system involves using multiple SPD at different locations to provide layer protection. This helps to ensure that voltage surges are effectively dissipated before they can reach sensitive equipment. Now, let's address some common misconceptions about telecommunications grounding. Firstly, misconception 1: all grounds are the same. Not all grounds are the same. Signal grounds, chassis grounds, and earth grounds serve different purposes and have different characteristics. It is important to understand the differences between these types of grounds and to use them appropriately. Secondly, misconception 2: a single ground is sufficient. A single ground may not be sufficient for a complex telecommunications system. Multiple grounding points may be necessary to provide adequate grounding for all equipment. Thirdly, misconception 3: grounding is only necessary for safety. Grounding is not only necessary for safety, but also for proper equipment operation and signal integrity. A properly grounded system will be less susceptible to electrical noise and interference. The TMGB is more than just a metal bar. It is a critical component of the telecommunications infrastructure that requires careful planning, installation, and maintenance. When dealing with telecom equipment in a multi-story building, prioritizing the lowest level location for the TMGB ensures optimal grounding performance. Always refer to the latest edition of the National Electrical Code and relevant TIA or EIA standards for detailed requirements and best practices. Remember, a well-designed and properly implemented grounding system is an investment in the reliability, safety, and longevity of the telecommunications infrastructure. Choosing the right location for the TMGB is a crucial step in ensuring that investment pays off. Furthermore, consider the impact of future expansion or modifications to the telecommunications system when planning the TMGB location. Ensure that the chosen location provides adequate space for future connections and equipment. Regular inspections and maintenance of the TMGB and associated grounding system are essential for maintaining its effectiveness. Check for loose connections, corrosion, and any signs of damage. Addressing these issues promptly will prevent potential problems and ensure the continued reliability of the telecommunications infrastructure. In addition to physical connections, proper documentation of the grounding system is crucial. Maintain accurate records of the TMGB location, grounding conductor routes, bonding connections, and test results. This documentation will be invaluable for troubleshooting and future maintenance activities. By following these guidelines and best practices, it is possible to create a robust and reliable telecommunications grounding system that protects equipment, ensures signal integrity, and promotes safety. The TMGB, when properly located and maintained, serves as the foundation for this system, providing a stable and consistent ground reference for all telecommunications equipment within the building.